Are you one of those people that when you're in kind of a negative mood or negative things are happening to you, you catch yourself thinking, oh, what am I going to do? How can I be positive in a negative situation? It's okay to be negative, but when you're having a negative situation, sometimes you might dwell on it too long. And the amount of time that you dwell on it is the amount of time that law of attraction can respond to it. So today, Rhonda and I are going to give you 5 tips of what you could be doing so you can stay positive in a negative situation. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Logie. I'm the author of these 3 books. I'm here live. Ron, I was going to say every Friday at 9, with the exception of what the 9:20 is going on this morning. And
Right.
we're here to deliver you some law of attraction tools and processes. I am here with my friend from Oklahoma City. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning, Michael Logie. Good to see you finally. And we are finally live.
We are finally live,
We are
yes.
finally live. Oh, look, Lisa Hammond is in the house. Wendy Stout, Illy Vergara, Carol Backlig, Jeremy Sadler.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks for doing that. Now today,
Camellia, too.
Rhonda, we are going to, Rhonda's a certified law of attraction facilitator, doing law of attraction seminars in Oklahoma City and the area and online. She also, if you look at her Facebook group, she's one called Spend the Money Game 6. And while we were waiting for Facebook to work for us today, you were telling me the successes people are doing, spending the pretend money. But law of attraction doesn't really know it's pretend, neither does your subconscious mind. So we're going to get you to tell you about that a little later on. Good. So good morning. And I got one quick announcement to make, and I'm trusting that screen share is still there. Oh, it's not. So let me go open that up. And Rhonda, as you know, I am also an emotion code practitioner.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm helping people with lots of different ailments they're having, either physical or mental. And I like to call myself the practitioner's coach's coaches. The practitioner's coach's coach. And I've been helping a lot of practitioners, emotion code practitioners, build a very successful business. It's what I do. So what I thought is to have a summer series. And this is it right here, starting next Wednesday night. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm holding an 8-week series. And it's going to go live on Facebook. And it comes with the workbook. It's a 10-page workbook. Every week, there's 1 page. I'll tell you the first class that we're going to do is I want people, with all due respect, a lot of healers aren't really business people. But I was a business person first and then a healer. So I kind of bring the business influence. So I'm going to teach them what words stimulate people's decisions to purchase or hire you. Now, after you learn the words, you can watch the shopping channel and see how powerful these words are. They're also part of NLP, my second book there, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So the first class we're going to do is teach you what words will stimulate somebody's purchase or decision to hire you as an emotion code, body code practitioner without ever using those words. It's an 8-week series. It is free. It's going to be on this Michael Logie fan page you see in the bottom. We're also going to put it inside my Facebook group called Michael Logie's Emotion Code Hangout Room. And I promise you, after the 8 weeks, you'll be able to tell people what emotion code is, how you help people stimulate their purchase. And I have a 3-part series in that 8 weeks, Rhonda, on how to apply law of attraction. How to use law of attraction to attract your ideal client, how to use law of attraction to attract your ideal referral, how to use law of attraction to attract your ideal repeat client and customer. So mark your calendar, stay tuned, and join me starting next Wednesday.
I'll be there.
You'll be there, and
You bet.
we're going live at 6 o'clock. I'm going to keep that class inside the group for a week. So you have 1 week to watch the class, and then we're going to get rid of it and then introduce class 2, and then you'll have a week to watch that. Rhonda, let's go out and welcome some more friends. We have Pamelia Bell. Now, I know Pamelia is an emotion code practitioner. She's already told me she's in. She's going to be watching that series starting next Wednesday. So good morning, Pamelia. Our friend Jeremy Salder. Good morning, Sadler. And Natasha, how is that for grouping all of her words together? Natasha, Paula, Samuel. Hello, Michael and Rhonda. Looking forward to today's topic and an amazing show. Is watching from a heat-waved Romford, Essex. Who else is with us there, Rhonda?
So Christina Neiman is here. She's from Oklahoma City, and Wendy Stout from Tulsa, Oklahoma. These are ladies in my neck of the woods. Doug Collins is here. Sig Brown.
Good. We have Illy Vergara is with us, and Jeremy Salter gave us a woohoo. Yeah, our friend Wendy Stout, Janet Logan's with us.
Hey, Doug Collins is in, he says, for the 8-week series.
Duh.
Even though he's not an emotion code practitioner, he's like, I'm in.
I'm in. Okay, I'm just turning up my volume there in case some people can't hear me as well. Our friend Lisa Hammond's joined us. I'm just scrolling down. You might have said some of these already. Our friend Doug, Christina Neiman is with us. Good morning, Chris. And and John is away this week. Jeremy's asking about John. John is in beautiful Bali, and I'm jelly.
He's got a rough life,
I've been to Bali before, and it's just, with the exception of the long flight to get there, it is heaven on earth. So I'm missing John. And tomorrow I got a very special Emotion Code Bro show without the bro, and we're doing smoking for the very first time, and we're looking for 2 smokers. And my friend Helena and I have written a protocol, which means script in the process, for helping people quit smoking. We both had extreme success, so we merged all of our thoughts and ideas together. We come up with a program. Tomorrow we're looking for 2 smokers. Their commitment is to chat with us tomorrow. We're going to have private sessions with them throughout the week, and next week we're doing a part 2, and they're going to come back and give us their smoking results. Isn't that going to be amazing?
Wow, that is going to be amazing.
Oh, good. Rhonda, tell us about your book, and then we're going to get started. Yeah, I'm very proud of you. You've got a book coming out. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of work to write a book, and then people think that's the real work. The real work is selling it and getting the word out. So I want to help you.
Thank you.
And let people know about your book. Go ahead, please.
Well, I'm very excited about it. It's not even live yet, but here it is: Turning Talents into Strengths. Stories of Coaching Transformation. I wrote the book with I have a dozen co-authors,
oh, nice.
And so we are telling stories about coaching and what happens in coaching. Coaching is really, for people who want to go to the next step, finding a coach is an important thing. You're a coach, I'm a coach, and, coachings kind of give you that inside. They give you a different glimpse of yourself and of the situation. And so these coaches and I have banded together to create or share our stories so that people can see the power in coaching transformation. So I'm excited about that.
Well, you and I have both been coached, and I've either been coached directly or indirectly, or through mastermind groups, or through people that I'm exchanging coaching sessions with. And honestly, it's I'd still be working for the government if I didn't have support to get me where I'm at today. So we encourage everyone to do what you need to do to take the next step. And ideally it would be a mastermind group or a coach or something like that to keep you going. But today, Rhonda, I talked earlier, people that are very conscious about law of attraction, when they are having a negative situation, they get extra worried. I'm having some crappy stuff go down in my relationships, my job, or with my spouse, or with money, or and they know that as they're having that experience, and sometimes it's hard to get out. They're caught in that little funnel, that spiral.
That's right.
What do you call that in the air? Tornado, I guess. They're caught in that, and they don't know how to get out of it. And law of attraction isn't very forgiving. It doesn't say, Rhonda's nice. Let's cut her some slack. It doesn't know who Rhonda is. It's matching vibration. So today we want to talk and give people some tips about how do you stay positive in a negative situation. We all have them. Is it your work? Is it your relationships? Is it about money? Is it your primary relationship? Is it customers or clients or business? So today we're going to introduce things that you might have already heard throughout the last 200 and blah, blah, blah episodes. But today I'm going to give the first one. And I think it's really important because Well, first I'm going to introduce our friend Rhonda. The
There he
vibrational
is.
bubble guy. That's right.
That's
And the
him.
vibrational bubble guy is illustrating the bubble that inside the bubble is your vibes. There's only two kinds, positive and negative. And law of attraction is eavesdropping. So if you're having a negative situation, law of attraction doesn't know where your negative vibes, because you're observing that and you're talking about it, and you're thinking about it, you're going online saying, I'm having a negative experience, and you're just, you're not even doing it on purpose, but you're including negativity in your vibe because you're having a negative experience. I get it. They're valid. These are valid experiences people are having. And the key that's causing the negative vibration is what you're thinking about. So here's tip number one. Who can we get to be our scribe today, Rhonda? Let's get a couple of people to help us.
Who would love to scribe? Maybe Jeremy. He's
Jeremy, why don't you
talkative
do
out
that for
there.
Jeremy? Here's tip number one for Jeremy. Jeremy, here's tip number one. You can only have one thought at a time. Remember a recent positive event. That makes sense. So right now I'm worried about money or my job or my health or my relationships or my family or whatever. That's where I'm giving my attention, energy, and focus to. So now, instead of thinking about happy babies and happy puppies, that's too Pollyanna for me. But I want you to say, what is a positive experience you just had recently? Oh yeah, the other day I had a really good experience. I met some people, I got a good client. Now I've just shifted my attention. The negativity is still happening out here, outside of the bubble, but now I'm including that positive recent event. I'm going to say it again. Thinking about happy babies and happy puppies only masks the vibration for a few seconds. But now think about that positive event and stretch what you're saying. And stretch how long you're giving it attention to. So tip number one is that you can only have one vibration at a time. So remember a recent positive event. Jeremy, that's for you.
There you go.
And Pamelia Bell, we're going to get Pamelia to write tip number two, and that is coming from you, Rhonda. What's our second tip of the day, please?
So I love the power of questions, because from a neuroscience point of view, questions cause your brain to interrupt. It's a pattern interrupt, and it causes you to switch to a different track. And so what I like to do is ask, what do I like about the current situation? Because if I can find one thing that I like about the situation, it will switch the way I'm thinking. And then guess what? One thing leads to two things.
That's right.
And so there you go.
So let's talk about that. So you might be having a challenge with your boss or your client. Let's say at work, your boss ticked you off, or your supervisor or your workmate or something, and that's all you can think about. You're at your desk and you're suggesting, well, what's one good thing about that? And well, you know what? My boss is being a you-know-what right now, but here's one thing I like about them. You know what? I got flexible time. I can come and go. And now, so even though it looks like there's a pony in there somewhere, right? So you have to go find the pony. You have to find what's one positive thing about this relationship, or about this customer or client, or about whatever it is you're experiencing. And you've got to look for it. And then it adds to tip number one, which means reach for a different thought, have a different thought.
That's right.
So summarize tip number two, please.
What do I like about that? Find one thing.
That's right. What do I like about that? Okay, here is tip number three. Now, I use this one sometimes too when I get worried about stuff. And when I'm worried about stuff, we never worry about the past. We're always worried about the future. Yeah, fear is future. Worrying about stuff is the future. So here's tip number three. And Sig Brown's going to write number three for us, please. Sig Brown. Right now, I'm safe. Period. Right now, I'm safe. So when you're feeling this anxiety or in a negative situation, and one negative thought, you remember the tornado, and that one negative thought finds another one, and now there's two, and now there's three, and now you're off into this big future story that hasn't happened yet, and you're creating all this negative thought that nothing's even happened yet. One way to put the brakes on is say, well, you know what? Right now I'm safe. Right now I'm home, I've got food, I've got water, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a job, I've got this, whatever it is, find something where you can say, right now I'm safe. And in my head, that's what the power of now is. Right now I'm safe, capital letters now. Right now I am safe. And now I'm not thinking about the future or the past. The future is where the fear is. The future is what I'm worried about what's going to happen. And worrying about what's going to happen actually sets the energy in motion to attract what you don't want to attract. I show this guy off a lot because everything is included. So what are you including? Are you including the fear about the future, or are you including what's happy right now? What am I safe with right now? Okay, let's see. I'm just checking. Jeremy wrote tip number 1. You can only have one thought at a time, so think of a recent event. And Ili Vergara wrote, make a list of all the good things of a negative situation. Very good. And Sig Brown wrote, right now I'm safe. So thank you to Sig and Ili. Okay, Rhonda, you've got the last 2 tips you're giving us. What are they?
So I'm going to ask Wendy Stout, shout out to Wendy, to post this in the comments. So what is the best possible outcome? That's, again, tapping into the power of questions, which will shift your mind to a new track. What is the best possible outcome? And so it sets you off thinking in a different direction.
It all lends to the whole notion that you can only have one thought at a time. Right. And as you're changing your thought, you're changing your vibe. We're just giving you other ways to have different thoughts. Because I know what it's like when you're that, boy, you can sit there and think about it and chew on it all day. But these are ways to throw out the life raft and say, how do I get out of this tornado of negative thoughts? Good. And Alan Davidson has given us a hashtag. And I think it's your tip number 5. What's tip number 5, please?
Tip number 5 is my favorite, Michael, and it's one you taught me. So what do I want?
What do I want?
What do I want? What do I want right now?
Yeah. When you go from what you don't want to what you do want, the words change. And when the words change, the thoughts change. And when the thoughts change, the vibration changes. And you can only have one vibration at a time. I know it sounds easy breezy, but today we gave you 5 ways how you can be more deliberate about what you're giving your attention, energy, and focus to. And it's okay to observe what you don't like briefly. Ideally, briefly will be pretty brief. Is it a day? Is it 5 minutes or 4 minutes? But you can you can put the brakes on and that spiral, because one negative thought finds another one, and before you know it, you're spiraling. So, Ronnie, do you have all 5 tips in front of you to recap the list for us?
I do. Focus on an actual event, an actual positive event. That would be tip number 1. Tip number 2 is, what is one thing I like about that? What do I like about that? Finding one thing. Tip number 3, right now I'm safe. Just affirm that you are safe right now. Tip number 4 is another question, which is, what is the best possible outcome that I want for the situation? And then tip number 5, so what do I want? There you go.
Okay, and we're going to build the list because that was you and I, just, what we do. Now we're going to reach out to the audience, and we have some more. So here is tip number 6 from Alan Davidson.
That's it.
How can it get any better than this? See, there's that question again. How can it get any better than this? Alan Davidson, thank you very much. Leslie Owen gave us the think about the best possible outcome. So Leslie, thanks for sharing that. And Lisa wrote that as well. I'm just coming to new comments. Do you have another tip to add us?
Please
Joanne Etchcorn Prendes, and I love your advice. It helps. So very good. Good. So we're going to hang out here for a few more minutes. Wendy is reminding us briefly, big capital letters, briefly. That is the key here. It's okay to be ticked off and negative, but you want to do it briefly. Are you seeing any other comments that I might not be seeing?
Well, Wendy is saying, what am I thinking about now, which makes you aware of what you're thinking.
Yeah, what am I including in my vibrational bubble?
That's right.
Everything's included. There is no exclusion. There's no exclusion to the bubble. In your attempt to exclude it, you
include it.
You include it. Oh, I'm going to try to exclude that thought. I'm sorry you didn't. You just included it. In your attempt to exclude it, you include it. There is only inclusion. Now, Rhonda, there's two ways that people can tell what they've been including in their bubble. There's two ways. One of the ways is by what you're getting.
Yeah, that's it.
If you've attracted it, you've had to have that, you've had to have had that vibration in your bubble. I didn't create the rule. We're just teaching it. If you attracted it, you've had to have had it in your bubble. That's one way to tell what's in your bubble. There's a quicker current right now way to know what's in your bubble. You can tell by what's in your bubble by how you
feel.
That's right. Feeling crappy? Guess what? You got crap in your bubble.
That's it.
You're feeling joyous and love and appreciation? Guess what? That's in your bubble. Law of attraction is eavesdropping. When?
Right now and right now and right now.
That's right. It's eavesdropping all the time. And it is this universal energy that isn't very smart. Law of attraction is not very smart. It doesn't know if you want it or don't want it, or whether it's good or bad for you, or whether it's helpful or not helpful, but it is obedient. And right now it's unfolding and orchestrating whatever you include in your vibrational bubble. You see, law of attraction is already on. You don't have to turn it on. But you can be more deliberate about what you're including in your vibration. That makes you a deliberate attractor. Law of attraction is already on. You don't have to turn it on. Everything you're attracting is a result of what you're giving attention and focusing on, whether you're doing it deliberately or not. But the purpose of this show is to teach you how to be a more deliberate attractor. And to be a more deliberate attractor, you need to be a more deliberate includer. So today, you learned a number of tools how you can deliberately stop including the negativity of the event that's happening in your life and how to deliberately include the vibration and changing it by what you do want or a thought that feels better or looks differently to you. Okay, Rhonda, let's go out, say a couple more comments, and then we're going to wrap up today's show.
Camellia says, this too shall pass. She likes to affirm that whatever the negative situation is about to pass. And then Wendy also says, so how is that working for me?
Yeah.
And then Lisa says she loves the power of, so what do I want? And then Joanne loves knowing that I am safe.
Okay, we love that.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Thank you guys for commenting on that. There's a good NLP question that sometimes I would ask. I would say, people say, oh, I'm so worried about paying my rent next month. And then I would say, has there ever been a time when it didn't work out? The answer might be yes, but it's still a good question. Has there ever been a time when it didn't work out? And I always say, well, no, it always works out. Okay. I think we had fun today, Rhonda.
We did.
And you know what? You're back with me next week. We have our friend Victoria from Arizona joining us next week. And I think you and Victoria are going to take over the show next week.
We are.
Yeah. Tell us what the topic is for next week, please.
Next week is episode 246, and Victoria Gallagher and I will be joining you talking about how to become a master manifester by teaching others.
Woohoo, good stuff. You and Victoria are both successful law of attraction facilitators delivering seminars and online programs. But if you've just joined us or you weren't here for the very beginning of the show, starting next Wednesday, Rhonda, I am doing an 8-week free series. It's for emotion code, body code practitioner. Well, you know what? It could be for anybody, but the language will be for this group here. If you're a healer or you're maybe an entrepreneur, I'm going to go through an 8-week series. It comes with the workbook. I think it's 10 or 12 pages long. And each week, I'm going to break you through kind of a blueprint. The very first class, I'm going to be teaching people words that stimulate people's purchasing decisions. What do they need? You know what they don't want? You know what doesn't work? Oh, this is wonderful. This is fabulous. They don't sell things. People, oh, it's wonderful. It's fabulous. And they use words, but those words, they don't stimulate a purchase. Okay? I want you to hear that. Those words don't stimulate a purchase. Next week, I'm going to teach you what the words do stimulate a purchase. So we want you to join. It's a free 8-week series. Every Wednesday, you can see it right here, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Rhonda, can you remind us how to get a hold of you, please?
You bet. You can find me at RhondaBoyle.com, and you can join me in our next Spin the Money game. You can find us at Facebook.com/groups/Spin the Money Game 6. We're starting our 6th game on July 21st. We look forward to seeing you there.
Good stuff.
Add stuff to your vibrational bubble.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. Rhonda Knight Boyle, thanks for chilling and hanging out with me today. I'm going to see you next week here on the Hangout with Michael panel. After today's show, I'm going to go out and check out. I'm going to go check out your comments and feedback, so let us know what you liked today. What was your favorite tip today? Which one do you see yourself using? Which one made sense? Which one resonated with you? Let us know. Ron and I are going to go out and say hello and check out your comments. So Rhonda Knight Boyle, see you later.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.